everybody.
Hi, Stuart. Um, I'm just still chewing on the topic of forgiveness, and I'm wondering if you can give a practical example to go deeper into the topic.
Well, I mean, have you ever been offended by anybody? Have you ever gotten really angry with somebody because of what they said to you? And look, frankly, this happens to me a lot. I spend my life trying to help people, serve people, and a lot of crap comes. And I would often go up to Rudy, to my teachers, and they would say, the only way to get through this is just forgive them. Forgive them. And when I opened my heart and I allowed myself to forgive the indiscretions of other people, I was suddenly able to move on in my life. I got detached from them. They didn't bother me anymore. I wasn't angry. And all that anger that I would throw out at the world went into my chakra system and developed a much stronger spiritual connection for me. I mean, and this has happened to me so much in my life. I mean, look, I can tell you once there was some people that were really trying to kill me. And, I'm not exaggerating this either because of the nature of what I teach and what I do. And I went to teachers like Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi, Rudy, Nityananda, and other teachers. And I got the same answer. The only way that you can get free of what they're trying to do is to forgive them. To forgive them. So I went deep enough in myself, and I found a place where I could do that. And all of it went away. It all went away. I mean, not completely, but it all went away, I mean, there's always some stuff that you got to deal with every day. So this gets you strong inside, and it enables you to detach yourself from all of the crap that goes on in this world, where people, instead of seeking forgiveness, they seek revenge. They want to destroy somebody else because somebody did something to them that they didn't like. It goes on in religious and racial, and I mean, it's just insane what goes on in the world, and how, like Gandhi said it, an eye for an eye, the entire world would become blind. And it's such a profound truth. And that's how most people live today. It's an eye for an eye. You did something to me, I will get my revenge. And then somebody else gets their revenge. And before you know it, the whole world goes blind. And the whole world is blind. Maybe not physically, but mentally, spiritually, we live in a blind world of anger, revenge, greed. Somehow it has to go away. And it's not going to go away for the entire world, but it can go away for each and every one of us by simply finding a place in our heart where we can forgive. I've said it 1,000 times. The greatest thing I ever read was in the New Testament, where Christ is nailed to a cross. I mean, he's hanging from a cross. Forgive them. They know, please try and stop moving. Forgive them. They know not what they do. I mean, I never read anything more profound than that. The most intense suffering imaginable. And all he can say is, forgive them. They know not what they do. And this is really true. People do what they do, and they really don't know what they're doing. Fits of anger, fits of unhappiness, revenge. They don't know what they're doing. So they do. They think that hurting somebody else is going to make a difference in the world. It's not. It just means somebody else is going to come and hurt them. We get back exactly what we give off in life. So forgiveness is a really profound way of moving on in one's life. I mean, I had a student once, a woman who was sexually abused by her father when she was a teenager or young. Please try and stop moving. And she was so upset. And this is like 40 years before or something, She was so upset about that. And I finally, sat down with her. She came and we talked, and I said, the only way you're going to get through this is you're going to have to forgive your father. He didn't know what he was doing. I know it's terrible what he did. It's absolutely horrible what he did, but you will never move on in your life until you can let go of it, till you can simply let go of it. I had a girlfriend who was a very beautiful model and one of the most successful models in her time, and she was also an alcoholic. And she stopped drinking. She was a member of AAA. I used to attend all these AA meetings. I once had a big AA meeting in my loft. It was really, the stories I used to hear were absolutely extraordinary of what people had gone through and the suffering they had gone through in their lives. And one day I'm walking on the street and she's going on and on about how she'll never forgive her mother because her mother was also an alcoholic. And it's because of her mother that she became an alcoholic. And she was going on and on and on. And I mean, this is like, it was 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago. And I finally said to her, I said, look, if you don't forgive your mother, you will never move on in your life. You will always be trapped in that anger and that unhappiness, and you'll never move on. She got so pissed off at me. She was screaming at me in the street. I'll never forget it. And I said, man, Stuart, you've got to get out of this relationship. It's really going to go nowhere. And that was the end of the relationship. I finally said, no, I can't listen to this anymore. So what I'm saying is we need to move on in our life. We don't forgive other people for them. We forgive them because we need to move on in our life. We need to get stronger in our lives so that indiscretion doesn't tear us apart anymore. So we're doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it, they might never forgive us. It doesn't matter. We might never see them again. It doesn't matter. We have grown inside ourselves strong enough to forgive another human being and move on and to let go of all these things. They're all in the past. I mean, I used to teach in a prison, a lot of prisons, actually, I used to teach in. And one of the first things I used to tell the inmates that came to study there, I don't care about anything that happened to you in your past. I don't care what crime you committed. I never even asked. I never knew what most of them were there for. Some of them I did, because they came to me. But I don't care. I said, the only thing I care about is we work today to build our lives so that we can move into the future. What happened in the past is dead. It's gone. Why recreate it? Why hold grudges and anger because of what people have done to us? We got to work in the moment to build a system that allows us to move on. Because frankly, you never can remember the past exactly how it happened. There's a wonderful expression, in the Bible, through a glass darkly, You look at the past through a glass darkly. You don't remember exactly what happened. You remember it according to the way you are today. And nobody is the same today as they were in the past. So we need to learn to let go. Because if we don't let go, we spend the rest of our lives being ripped apart by things that happen to us that are no longer real anymore. They're part of the past. They're dead. I hope that's clear, because Leisha, dear, I want you to move on in your life. I really do, because the potential is enormous in you. And if you hang on to these things, it'll keep you from ever moving on.
Those examples helped so much. Thank you.
Excuse me? Can you say
The
that again?
examples, yeah, the examples you gave helped so much. It really made me see how radical forgiveness is.
I'm telling you, I have had so many, I mean, people, business associates, and that literally screwed me. One, people that were students of mine, and also businesses that wound up screwing me, and in business for a lot of money. And I initially go, ooh, and then I said, Stuart, no. He said, you're not going to allow these people to stop you from developing your spiritual life. You're not going to allow it to happen. And I had to instantly let go of it. And I let go of it. So it's just money. I'll make money. I'll get it, money will come, and it comes, But I could have gone on for a year bitching and complaining about those people, suing them and this and that and the whole drama, And I said, no, I will let go of it. I am not going to get myself embroiled in that kind of drama. That's going to strip all my energy out of me. Didn't mean I ever had to do with them again. I didn't. It was finished. Because I have learned, as I told my daughter this morning, there's a wonderful word in the English, Italian, Spanish, French, in every language in the world. No. It's an incredible word. Spares you a lot of aggravation if you can just get strong enough to look at somebody and say, no, I don't want this anymore. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And it's not just for you, Alicia. I mean, look, there isn't a person here who isn't going through this or hasn't gone through this. Not one person on the earth who can sit down and honestly look you in the face and say, I have nobody to forgive. But also, there are very few people in the world that say, I will forgive. I have forgiven. I can move on in my life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. If there are no more questions, there will be a meditation on Tuesday. If you all have time, I would suggest going to my website. I posted some new, little essay on Tantra, some very nice art too, which I think you'll enjoy. A very good level of Tibetan art, highest level actually of Tibetan art. And I've been posting these things. I think you'll enjoy them. And does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday. Have a wonderful evening or day, and see you soon. Bye.
גם
Thank you.
עזרה בהוספיס.
Bye-bye.